So I'm going to show you guys this in case you've never seen it. This is a large apartment building, and in order to heat each room, they have a boiler line running through it. And those all connect to a main supply and return. And when there's a call for heat, the thermostat over there sends 24 volts to this synchronous motor on this little control, and it opens the valve. Now if I feel this pipe is extremely hot, and you can see the wires are disconnected, and this is how I found it. The maintenance person had disconnected this to verify that it was indeed stuck open. So it should be closed right now, but it is stuck open. This little lever here on the side, you would normally be able to pull this, and you would hear the gears turning over as it comes this way, and there's a manual open. So you leave it in this position when you want it to open and close with the thermostat, but when you pull it all the way over to here and drop it into that notch, that would just keep the thing on all the time. But in this case, it's totally stuck. I tried supplying power to it and it doesn't do anything because it's stuck fully open. So we're going to remove this top part, and we'll then see if it's the valve body that's got an issue with that valve in there, or if it's actually the synchronous motor assembly. I'm guessing it's the valve body, but we'll see. To remove this, there's just screws, one here, back there. It's just two. It's this one and that one. So this immediately snapped shut again. So now when I pull it, I'll show you what it's supposed to do. And then if you put it in the manual slot, it'll just stay closed like that. And when you release it, it should under spring pressure just return. It sounds like the gears are skipping a little bit, but this is still closing again. So that means this is probably seized up really bad. See how it feels? Yeah, really stiff. So we're going to replace this little internal component, and the valve body is actually the same between the one that we have for replacing this. So we'll actually leave this brass valve body in and not resolder anything. So what we can do is isolate this section, valve there, and there's hopefully a valve at the other end of the apartment. They did put one on this one, so we'll just close those two valves. Now we'll be good to open up that part of the system over there. They're just little 5/16ths. And you'll notice that two of these have a little nubbin on the top, and two of them have threads. And it's important to note where those are, because this is where the upper valve body screws mount back on with the power head. Now you wouldn't want to take this off without isolating the part of the system first, because there is pressure in the water line. So there's our assembly, and it's just seized up in this shaft. You can see how freely this one moves. No problem at all. It's a little O-ring here. Check that these surfaces are clean inside here. Actually looks really good in there. The water's not even that black. with threads go here. 2 with nubs go here. And here. These don't need to be that tight because they're just snug, you know. It's just that O-ring that's doing the work. And it moves freely between zones. For putting the head on, you want this in the middle position like this. And then you'll want the valve body to be in the manual open, because that little slot has to drop in on there. But I think we're actually going to replace this, because if you look on the, kind of hard to see, but the gears are actually worn out on that, so it tends to skip really bad. Oh, there we go. See that? That should be springing back closed, and it's clearly not. There it went suddenly. You see how it skipped? So it's just those gears worn out, causing it to bind some of the time. So we are going to replace this on the new power head. Right now it's in the manual hold open. When I release that, see how it returns nice and slow. The gear's not skipping at all. Now you'll see there's 2 sets of wire here. One set of wires go to an end switch. Let's say your thermostat calls, it sends power on these 2 wires. And then the valve opens. And once the valve opens all the way, it presses this little button on that end switch. And then it would bring on the burner or whatever after your valve is open, or your pump, whatever you wanted to run with this end switch. But we're not going to be using that end switch, because this one just uses the thermostat to open and close it. It doesn't need the end switch. Just whack these off. Manual open position, so that shaft is clearly vertical. And it kind of needs to like click down. There it goes. Oh. Now we can go ahead and put this in the closed position, or the auto position, which right now it closes it off. So this pipe is still pretty warm from it running, but you should be able to feel a temperature difference once it actually opens. So we're going to hook up the wires with the thermostat turned off, and then we'll open our valves at either end. Then we'll turn the thermostat up, and we'll feel downstream. I guess it's flowing that way, so we'll feel upstream of it right here, and this pipe should warm up as fresh hot water starts flowing through the line. Thermostat all the way down. Open the inlet. Open the outlet. And we should not feel a temperature change at this point unless there was something wrong with the valve, because right now it should be closed. So let's go ahead and hook up our thermostat wires. We can trim these down just a little bit. It doesn't actually matter which wire goes to which wire here, because it's just sending 24 volts to the motor, and the motor doesn't really care which way the voltage comes in. The polarity does not matter. this line still feels the same. I don't notice any flow interruption when I close the valve down here. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'll go turn up the thermostat and you watch, that should start moving right there. Should move over and press this switch, closed. Oh, I hear the flow. Oofed. Yeah, so this pipe is really hot now. Can't really even put my fingers on it. So that's great. That means it is working as it should. Now I'm gonna go turn the thermostat back down and we should see this brass piece return and that'll be it closed again. There it goes. Back to the closed position. With that, all we need to do is install the cover. There it is all put back together. So hope that you enjoyed the video. Sorry I was talking a little quiet today because my voice is kind of lost from a winter cold. It's like -5 today, and I was working outside all day yesterday, so kind of caught one there. But anyway, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later.